One of the Bears' most debated picks in the 2026 draft was Zavion Thomas, and he may have already shown that he has the right mindset and mentality to succeed in this league. We'll talk a little bit about that, plus a question that was asked to Al Harris in regards to Jaylen Johnson that has raised a little bit of concern about Jaylen Johnson and maybe the way that he's viewed. It could be a little bit reading into it as well. We'll talk a little bit about that. Plus, we're going to talk about or dive into the mailbag and answer and respond to your voicemails as well. All that and more right after this. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform that we happen to be on. With that said, before we get started, hit that subscribe button. We got to go getting to 30,000 subscribers here on this channel before the start of the season. We can only do that with your guys' help. So we want to hear from you guys. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. A lot of people think they're subscribed because we post every single day. We're in the algorithm, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button, help the channel grow. With that said, let's jump right into the topics for today. Zavion Thomas asked a question that may be one of the best questions that a rookie can ask early in their career and shows that they at least have the mentality part of what they need to have to be successful in this league, or at least they want to, right? So according to Courtney Cronin, Zavion Thomas asked this question at the rookie minicamp, where he asked this of Richard Hightower. He said this: "Why, coach, do most rookies not succeed in the NFL? What holds them back?" That's a great question that Zavion Thomas said that he asked the coach, and that's an amazing one. Like, we know that Zavion Thomas has a lot of the skill set that you need to succeed in this league, right? Like, crazy speed, the 4.2 40-yard dash, one of the fastest players overall in the draft class. The speed that he has is insane. The versatility potentially that he has is crazy here as well for Ben Johnson under this offense, right? As a wide receiver, as a punt returner, and maybe even coming out of the backfield a little bit as well. Like, he's a guy that we could see Ben Johnson creating opportunities for. One of the things that Ben Johnson likes to do is find ways to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers on this team. And so I think that the question that he asked here is that, it shows self-awareness, it shows maturity, and it shows a desire to avoid mistakes that rookies commonly make. And for a player like Zavion Thomas, who is going to potentially play and be in multiple situations and find multiple ways, he's going to have to find multiple ways to help out this team, because I don't think he's going to, I'm not going to count it out as a chance, right? But I don't think he's going to excel to the wide receiver 3 in his rookie year with a veteran like Khalif Raymond here, and then Jahade Walker's also, there. But for a player like that, he's going to have to make the most out of every opportunity that he gets this season, right? Whether it be as a returner, as a receiver, as a running guy. And so the speed is great, but we've seen people with just speed not succeed in the NFL. Speed isn't alone enough to succeed. It may give you what your skill is that you can build things around and how they can use you, but you still have to grasp the offensive concepts if you want to be used in the offense. You have to understand how to read the angles and the pockets and all those type of things, whether it's in the run game or in the pass game. You have to do that, and you have to make the most, because you are not going to be somebody more than likely who is going to be like one of the top 3 weapons on this team. You have to make the most out of your opportunities, right? The Bears took heat for drafting Zavion Thomas in the 3rd round, and that is what it is, right? But the mindset and the potential of the player that they have here is great. So the question becomes about how can we take the mindset and the raw skills of Zavion Thomas and turn it into a legit benefit for the Chicago Bears, and thus for him too. And that's a question that's going to have to be figured out through mini camps, OTAs, preseason, all the type of stuff. All that is going to eventually tell the story of what Zavion Thomas can actually turn into for the Chicago Bears team, and we'll see. And luckily, listen, I'll say this: I'm glad that we have the opportunity to see it here. I'm glad that he's going to have the opportunity to grow. I'm glad that he's coming to an offense that is going to find versatile ways to use him and all that type of stuff. That is magic. That is special. And for Zavion Thomas, too, he has to prove that he can be more than just a gadget player. That's it, right? Ryan Poles has already said that Zavion Thomas will be used on special teams early. That is your indication of it, right? And of course, that we heard in the rookie minicamp, he lined up in the backfield almost exclusively, right? So it raises questions about, I'm not looking at Zavion Thomas to take up any of the slack left by DJ Moore. That's going to go to Coastal Loveland. That's going to be spread out to Luther Bird and Rome Odunze. But his rookie role may start on returns, but the offensive ceiling is going to be interesting to watch as it develops for the season over him, right? So Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Coastal Loveland, these guys all have, speed positionally, versatility as well. Can Zavion Thomas be the next guy for that? Even if he is just a returner early, can he be somebody that forces the Bears to have to play him and get him touches on the offensive side of the ball? Because if he does turn into that for this team, that's where the special sauce can be. That's where it can create some of the opportunity for him to turn into something more. So, I get it, especially with the edge concerns and all that type of stuff, why a lot of people, and like I said this many times about Zavion, people hear gadget player and they automatically paint a player into a box. Me personally, the way that I view a gadget player is that it's a player that can be used for multiple things. It doesn't mean you're not good as a receiver. It doesn't mean you're not good as a returner. It doesn't mean you can't be good as a rusher. But it's the fact that he can be lined up and used in so many of those different areas, and it's up to him to prove that he can do it all, and Ben Johnson to put him then and Press Taylor to put him in the proper spots and situations, and let's see if he can do that. I hope that he can. I hold out hope for all of our players, and I want to see everybody in the Bears uniform succeed, period. But all right, let's move on from that to the next one. It was an interesting situation, right? Jaylen Johnson, who missed the majority of last year, right? We know that. Even when he did play, he was not very healthy in the games that he did play, and so that's the thing in it. Now, Al Harris was asked a little bit about Jaylen Johnson and what's going on with Jaylen Johnson, and depending on how you already perceive things is going to color how you take this quote, but he said this, let's do this. I already know people are going to react to this quote. He says, let's do this. We are going to talk about the guys that have been out there. To the respect of Jaylon and the organization, we're just going to talk about the guys that have been out there. I have no doubt that fully healthy or whatnot, we'll get to what we need to see. I got no doubt about that at all. Now, the thing with Jaylen Johnson is he was absent. And what does absence do? Absence creates an opportunity for you to kind of be forgotten about, or your skill level or how you impact the game to be forgotten about. And I do think there's a little bit of that for Bears fans. Bears fans already started off last season with him saying the hypothetical, if I keep performing at the level that I do, we may have to renegotiate the contract. People took that as, oh my God, he's going to hold the team to more money. He doesn't care about that. But I do think the absence of Jaylen Johnson does naturally create a conversation. It's the reality of it. It creates a conversation, right? Now, with him not being at skip the non-mandatory workouts, this isn't uncommon for Jaylen Johnson. I want to be clear. As a veteran, this is not the first time he's done that, healthy or not. But at the same time, for a player that's coming off missing 10 games last season, I can understand any Bears fan that looks at it and say, what do you mean he's not at the non-mandatory? Don't you want to get up to speed? Don't you want to get up to all this stuff? I understand that. The fact of the matter still comes down to this. The Bears are going to need a healthy Jaylen Johnson to be available if this team wants to and wants the defense to take the next step. You need Jaylen Johnson to be that and to be more healthy. Secondary, the Chicago Bears secondary was a roller coaster last year between injuries to Kyler Gordon, Jaylen Johnson, Terrell Smith, who never lined up, Zay Frazier, who didn't play because of personal reasons. He's now gone off the team. Injuries all over the place. Hell, one of the players we were most worried about being injured early in the season was Jaquan Brisker, and he played all 17 games and is still not here, right? But I do think that the key part of this is that Al Harris also did express the confidence that once he's out there and healthy, that they'll see what they need to see. The question then becomes about, and I think this is a large overarching question for the Bears, is that if Jaylen Johnson does have another disappointing season, whether it's become production because of injury, and I guess one could say, well, hell, if it's because of production, it brings a lot bigger of a concern than if it's because he's just not healthy again. But I think either way, you're at this path with what Jaylen Johnson's getting paid, all the type of stuff that if you don't get a season where you can truly evaluate Jaylen Johnson under this, because a player like Jaylen Johnson that can shut down the side of the field, you want that in Dennis Allen. You want that in any defense, but you want that in Dennis Allen's defense, especially because of how that frees up to do what? Use your defensive backs in the way that Dennis Allen likes to do them. So Jaylen Johnson is a hugely important factor to how Dennis Allen wants the Bears to play. The question becomes about, is he going to be on the field long enough for us to actually see that this year? And the hope is that he was. When Jaylen Johnson suffered that injury, we knew that if he did not take time to heal, we were never going to get a healthy Jaylen Johnson that season. And that's exactly what came. He wasn't able. Like, and to his credit, he wanted to get out there on the field. He wanted to help his guys. He wanted to win football games, but it came at a detriment. Jaylen never looked like Jaylen Johnson. And for, some Bears fans that already were questioning Jaylen Johnson and stuff like that, it did nothing but add to those questions for those Bears fans. So now it comes down to this. What does he show this year? And like I've said with many people when it comes to this season it's all about what you show and what you do on the football field. That is the end. That is the great divider. That is it when it comes down to it. And we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, can we get it? Can Jaylen Johnson get it done? Hopefully he's on the football field long enough so we know what's going to happen, and let's see what's going to happen in regards to that. Last time before we get into the mailbag stadium, I'm tired of the stadium shit. I just want the stadium shit to be over with and done with it, right? At the end of the day, you got everybody weighing in between Illinois Governor, J.B. Pritzker, to Brandon Johnson talking about it, to even Roger Goodell expressed, his thoughts on it in regards to it recently. In everything. Like, at the end of the day, it seems like the downtown Chicago thing isn't going to work. It's either going to be Arlington or it's going to be Hammond. And that is what it comes down to. Now, do I think that the Bears, with the fact that they are kind of still waiting for some things, we'll see, right? But I think that it's almost about zero chance that the stadium ends up in downtown Chicago. It's either going to be Arlington or it's going to be that. Now, we'll see, right? Are the Bears going to make an announcement on the stadium anytime soon? I hope so, right? Like, they are expected to do something soon, everything that you hear. But, all this stuff between everything that's going on, between how you're going to fund the new stadium and stuff like that, and Hammond opening it up to what they did, like, just get it done. At this point, whatever happens, I'm just ready to get it done so that we can move on. And as a franchise, as a fan base, we can know where our team's going to play. And that's it, right? That's really it. Like, either way, I'm going to the new stadium, as most Bears fans are. I'm going to the new stadium. Let's just get it done. Let's move the fuck on. That's all I can say in regards to that. But all right. It is Friday. That means it is mailbag day for me here. Let's get into these voicemails. We got 3 of them. The first one, this one's from Fred.
Hey, yo, Haize, what up, man? It's me, your boy Fred, man. Shout out to the Cognac boys, Big Kev and Steve-O, man. Hey, man, I just want to know, man, why the Bears hate is real. What did the Bears do to the main media to make the main media hate us? Like, I don't get it. And I'm glad we, adopted the moniker Chicago versus everybody. Because it's like we got everybody just hating on the Bears for no reason. When Ben Johnson took over the team last season, it was hate then. They think he couldn't get it done his first year. They still calling the Bears trash. And here it is. The Bears end up winning their division, even though they were 2-4 in the division. And they beat Green Bay twice in the playoffs. Like, what more do they want from the Bears, though, man? But let them keep hating, though, man. The main media and everybody else, man, because I'm definitely, with the Chicago versus everybody, man, because this don't make no sense. Like, if the Bears was trash, they'd be okay with that, keep talking about the Bears like they ain't nothing. But y'all want to rank every other quarterback and, lead Colson Loving off the top 10 rookie list, him and Kyle Manun guy, right along with Luther Burden. It's like the Bears got to be doing something right to make, the main media hate on them. Like, it don't make no sense, man. Like, I don't ever see them trash no other teams that ain't even good. And then they sitting up there thinking, Minnesota's a top team in the division because they got Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray couldn't even do a damn thing in Arizona with Marvin Harrison Jr. So what makes you think he gonna do something with Minnesota? Like, come on, man. Like, now Jared Goff, okay, I probably will put him up there as a top quarterback in the NFC North because, he has the numbers, whatever, though. I'm not putting Jordan Love at number 2 with his bum ass, man. The same quarterback who was crying talking about Austin Booker hit him helmet to helmet when he ducked his head. But anyway, man, we coming for everybody, man. We taking names and we kicking ass, man. I said it. And then they schedule they gave us, we gonna run through that. I'm gonna say my prediction, man. Like, I think we get 2 losses on that schedule. 2 losses. That's my prediction. 2 losses. I could be wrong though. You know what I'm saying? But I think the Bears gonna be way better than what they was last season though. Even though we have a question concern about the pass rush, but you'll be surprised, man, if our pass rush end up being, dominant and then our defense may rank jumping from where they was ranked from last season. Maybe I give them about maybe 12 or 11. You know what I'm saying? As far as our defense gonna rank, we're gonna be better than what we was last season though. But let me know what you think, big dog. Chicago up, bet out or nothing. Let's get it. And FGB.
Why does the media hate on the Chicago Bears? I say a lot of it is because the Bears just haven't been consistently good. Almost every time that the Bears have looked like they're going to be a good team, it's been very fleeting, right? And it's come down almost as fast as it was built, right? And I think that's just the reality of it. So I think that's going to be the ultimate thing here with the Chicago Bears, is that until they are winning and winning consistently and good consistently, it's going to be a big question on how good what the Bears are going to be, right? Now, as far as you saying that the Bears only losing 2 games, that's a wild prediction because you just never know how things are going to go with injuries to other teams making moves, stuff like that. Going 15-2 would be absolutely ridiculous. And I think that would be a winning total, especially with the Bears' strength of schedule, that, it forces the media to really wake up. And at this point, it's just about go out and prove it on the field. No matter what the media says, does, anything in between, fuck the media. Let's go out here as a Bears team. Let's do what we need to do to improve. Let's take the necessary steps. And that's it, right? Like, even I can admit I focus too much sometimes on what the national media has to say about the Chicago Bears. And in reality, it doesn't matter. What matters is what they do on the football field. And so, but the thing I'll say this, in your prediction of only losing 2 games, I would say this. In football, because of how other teams and everything going on, you can be a better team, but that doesn't necessarily mean your record has improved. I just want to see the Bears be a better team. Let's deal with that. The record's going to be what it's going to be. All right, let's get into this next voicemail, man. This one's from Ant.
Yo, what up, fellas? It's Ant, the Army vet. Just calling in. Listen to a few of the episodes. Wanted to ask y'all a question and then make a statement. First, the question, what y'all think about Colston Loveland becoming the DJ Moore role from last season? You know what I'm saying? Like, the most consistent weapon that Caleb Williams had was DJ Moore, and the second most consistent weapon was Colston Loveland. So with them drafting Sam Roush, I feel like they might put Sam Roush in the Cole Kmet role from last season, put Cole Kmet in the Colston Loveland role. He can't run the routes like Colston can, but he still can catch, you know what I'm saying, and get up the field when need be and block. And then Colston Loveland, you know what I'm saying, being in and out of the slot, because we know he's good enough to be in the slot too. Not saying that to be like the consistent thing they try to move in the wide receiver. I'm just saying like that. I feel like that could be an area where Ben Johnson's brilliance might shine, because now not only do he got a blocking tight end and Sam Roush, he also got you know what I'm saying, a pass catcher when need be for like those needed first downs and those third and shorts. But he also he got a passing tight end and a blocking tight end and Cole Kmet too. Everybody knows that. He knew that coming in. What do y'all think about that? That's my question, because the wide receiver 3 ain't solidified yet. That's just the question I had. And then I was listening to Haize on the episode, and he was talking about the people that's not liking the veterans coming in. Now I won't lie, like when I hear about, you know what I'm saying, a veteran or somebody coming in, I am one of those ones that be like, nah, he too old, I don't want that person. But I'm also that same person. Like, my first thought would be, nah, they too old. But then I look at the production. It's like, yeah, he's too old, but like his production is still there. I'll take the production over the age any day, especially if you can, you know what I'm saying, get him a little bit of break, and this way he be only on like pass rushing, like for Von Miller, for instance. If you bring him in on passing downs and you know it's a passing down and he giving you 9 sacks, hey, who else had 9 sacks on the team besides Montez? I'll take that all day, every day. Cam Jordan can get to the quarterback and he can still stop the run. I'll take that production all day, every day, because those are what we lacking at. You know what I'm saying? But that's my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think. As always, Chi-Town up, bad down. Y'all have a good one.
I don't know how much Loveland is going to be in the slot, but he is going to be in the slot some. We already saw it last year, I think, with the departure of DJ Moore and the consistency of Colston Loveland as a route runner, all that type of stuff. Yeah, he's going to be in there and have opportunity to take that. I think Sam Roush adds to the versatility of what Ben Johnson likes, and the fact that you can line Colston Loveland up and Sam Roush. I don't think Sam Roush is going to play a lot of snaps, but he's going to have to make the most of his snaps in his rookie year, and that's the thing. As far as the vet part of the conversation, I think you got to have it in where you are at that point in the offseason. Where we are right now in the offseason, you're adding vets. It'd be a lot different if the Bears were like, oh, we signed this 37-year-old veteran on the first day of free agency, and they're like, this is our, like, but at now, this point, it's about, like I've said many times, raising your floor. And Cam Jordan, guys like that, Von Miller can raise your floor as a team. They can provide a safety net and a level of play that you know they're going to be able to sustain consistently. And I don't know how any Bears fan can be mad at that personally. So I think that's what it is. It's about adding depth and strengthening some of your weaknesses as much as you can. That's what it's about at this point in time. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Keys.
Yo, what's the deal, fellas? It's your boy Keys, man. Hope all is well with you and yours. With that being said, let's get to it. So, it's the early predictions of everything and what people evaluate on what they think is going to happen. Given their, what they call it, educated guess, hypothesis. And in my mind, if I had to make a guess on what we can be, I think at the lowest of the lowest, we'll have 9 wins for sure. But at the maximum, I think this is a 13-win playoff team. Seeding, that will probably get them first, right? We have a lot of things that can happen, should happen. The biggest question or the biggest thing is, what is Caleb going to do? And what is this defense going to do? We already know this is the elephant in the room to me. I think Caleb, you'll see him ascend to a 30-plus touchdown, over 4,000 yards passing. He got the weapons where it's going to all center around Loveland, who nobody will have no answer for, his size, speed, and strength. Then you go to Rome and Luther, 2 guys that are dynamic when they get the ball in their hands, especially with the Burden. It's going to be also focused around that running game. And pretty much we got all of our O-line intact, with the exception of a new center and that left tackle. But you'll see that 12-13 tight end package come in, and I think it's just going to be a better year for all around with the offense. Another year in an offense dedicated to that quarterback only is going to make him better. You'll see his decision making become more quicker. You'll see him be better, in his 3rd year. This is where he's going to get his contract. Now, as far as the defense, I'm looking forward to seeing the competition with Malik Muhammad and Tyreek Stevenson. That's going to be a battle. Whoever comes out of that, they get that starting position, they probably won't relinquish it unless it's an injury or something like that. But, of course, the D-line. Do I think Jordan Vandenberg can be this year's Cal Monunga, that late-round pick that turns into something dynamic? Yeah. Everybody who makes the NFL got talent, but it's not a guarantee. But, we'll see what happens with that. I don't know about Javon Dexter. We'll see how it goes. But I'm just looking at the whole scope and everything and how it's made out. We had a bye week in week 5 last year. Now we got one at week 10. Ben knows what he's going to do, and they playing on Thanksgiving. So he's going to have them ready. The players just have to come to play. But let me know what you think. As always, shot down up, bear down, y'all.
I won't say that what the floor or ceiling of is this Bears team yet. That's just not where I'm going to be. I want to see what we look like in preseason, because one of the hardest things to judge until you see it is how internal development has happened. And we're hoping for a lot of internal development from Rome, from Luther, from Kyle Monangai, from Colston Loveland, from Caleb, of course, right? You have questions on the center position, the left tackle position, like you have some of that. So I'm not going to say floor or ceiling until we start seeing how some of that stuff's going to work out. I think also with how many new faces we have on the defense, how long that team takes to gel can also play in to your ceiling and floor as a team, because you could start off a little bit and get over those humps and then be much stronger at the end of the season. You have a lot of that can happen. So I think it's hard to say until you see the team actually play, but I'm super excited as we get through preseason, mini camps and all that type of stuff, and start seeing this team in some preseason games. We'll start having a pretty good floor on that. But next week we are going to start dropping our win-loss predictions. As a unit here, everybody's going to drop their own video. So, picking behind the content a little bit. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I want to thank everybody who tuned in for today. Make sure let me know how you guys feel on Zavion Thomas, the stadium stuff, Jaylen Johnson. Let me know how you guys feel on all of that down below. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. You can follow us at Shy Bear Central on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.